Good morning, Facebook. How's everyone doing? Good morning, Facebook. How's everyone doing? Welcome to the Wake Up Everybody virtual community. My name is Tanine Harmony. I am the founder of the Harmony Network. I'm a speaker, coach, and author, and I'm excited to bring you a topic that is close to my heart, the Budget Your Time Intensive. 3 secrets to create the space you really want for your life. Good morning, Adam. How are you?
Good morning, Tanine. I'm doing great. How you doing this morning?
I'm awesome and amazing. Good morning. Is it Amibola?
Peace and blessings. Yes, Abimbola. That's it.
All right. Blessings, sis.
I just want to say every day is a good day whenever I wake up.
That's right. Yes. That's how you start your day. Awesome and amazing.
Right on.
Awesome. So we'll give folks a few more minutes to hop on.
Okay. Is the Zoom space open as well?
Yep, that's how Adam and Abimbola got here.
Perfect.
I was letting folks in.
Thank you.
You're welcome. We'll invite some more folks. So if you're on Facebook, invite your friends and tag everyone. They can join us.
Yes. If you are on Facebook, please tag your friends, have them come into the community. I'm excited about today. Everyone in Zoom, please text a friend, have them come into the space this morning.
And when are they going to be learning about Tanine?
So today you're going to be learning about how to budget your time and really the mindset of budgeting your time. And it's different than managing your time. A time budget is where everything is allocated in advance. So you're going to learn how to automate your time, how to pay yourself first, and really the essence of really digging deep to find out what your relationship with time is. We all have a story. We've all been impacted by our environments growing up. So you're going to dig deep to find out, like, what is your real story around time? Does it still serve you? And if not, you're going to rewrite a new time story. So you're writing a new narrative in order to get to the things that you really want to see in your life. And this is important because we do our best every day. We work, we go to school, we take care of our families. There's so many things that we get to do. But this particular topic is really focused on you. You are paying yourself first. You're doing a deep dive to see what are those things that are important to you that maybe you had to put to the side because you had other responsibilities. Some of us have small children. Some of us take care of elderly people. Sometimes we're taking care of sick people, or we just have really demanding jobs. We have people who are entrepreneurs. I mean, there's so many things that demand of our time. And sometimes what's important to us really gets pushed to the side. So this is a call to action for us to really dig deep, to look and see what's important to us, what's important to really say, you know what, before I leave this earth, because I know I'm leaving, right? What is that thing that I want more of, or what do I want to incorporate into my life that's meaningful to me outside of everyone else? See, that's the key to this topic. You're doing this for you. You're saying yes to you. You're paying yourself first. So that's what we're talking about today, how you can have more of what you want in your life, in your relationship, in your health, in your bank account, in your business, the things that matter to you. And I'm going to show you how to actually create the space for what you want, because you have to create space for anything new that you want in your life, right? So that's what we're talking about today.
Wonderful.
Hi, Z. Good morning. Good to see everyone this morning.
All right, let's get into it.
All right.
Wake up, everybody. It's time to get up. Wake up, everybody. It's time to get up. Stay woke, stay woke, stay woke. It's time to get up. Stay woke, stay woke, stay woke. It's time to get up. We're healing, we're dealing, we're growing. Together, together, releasing. We're teaching, we're moving. Together, together, we're learning, discerning. We're striving. Together, together, we're leading, connecting, transforming. Together, together.
Good morning again. I would like to do a temperature check. Again, my name is Tanine Harmony, the founder of the Harmony Network, an empowerment company. And we're talking about budgeting your time. 3 secrets to create the space for what you really want. Before we get started, I would like to check in with everyone. Can you just drop in the chat on Facebook how you feeling this morning? It's December, it's the end of a year. Are you feeling excited? Do you have anticipation? Are you feeling anxious? Like, what are you feeling about just having this opportunity to be at the end of the year? I am feeling robust. I'm excited. Let's see what people are saying. How are you feeling? Good morning, Phyllis. Good morning, Lori, Deborah.
Good morning.
All right. Just drop in the chat how you're feeling. Let's see what we have. Lori is feeling reflective. Yes, thank you. Amy Bola is feeling blessed. Yes, let's keep that energy going. Continue to put in the chat how you're feeling. Again, wake up to good morning and welcome to this topic. Phyllis is feeling grateful. Yes, gratitude is just what keeps us going and keep us alive. And we're here this morning to really just pour into ourselves. So we're going to talk about the pay yourself in time tool. And that's what you're doing. You're paying yourself first right now by being here, by being fully present. So what can you expect from today? An interactive conversation. We're going to discuss the 3 secrets to create more of what you want in your life. We're going to talk about what is a time budget, why this is important. I have some resources that we're going to drop in the chat for you. Then we're going to do an overview of the ecosystem of time. You're going to learn about how to pay yourself, how to automate your time, and you're going to create your own time budget, maybe in your own time. So what is it that you need for today? You need an open heart, an open mind, maybe some writing tools, a device. Pull out your personal calendar because I'm going to call you to action to put yourself on your calendar today. And then maybe text a friend about this topic. So before we get into the 3 secrets, I would like to share my personal story about how this topic emerged. So during my reflective time in 2021, I thought about some of the things that I wanted more of in my life, right? I discovered there were 5 things that I wanted. So one of the things that I I wanted to spend more time with my grandchildren. That was really important to me, right? Number two, I wanted to learn to become a better speaker. I realized that I speak to people all the time. I speak to students, parents, I speak to clients. I'm speaking to my own children. So I wanted to become a better speaker. Number three, I wanted to double my business income because, again, this was the end of the year during my reflection time. And I wanted to include getting hired by new clients and having returning clients. The fourth thing that I wanted is to make new friendships with like-minded about their business women. And I met Shawnee, I met Alicia, I met Chantel. Number five, I wanted more rest. I needed some rest. And during my resting time, there was a purge that happened, and there were increased responsibility. And what I learned about when your responsibilities increase, you need more structure and you need more rest. That was my experience with how this got started. And what I did was I took some preliminary steps. I wrote down what I wanted. I submitted my desires to God in prayer. And then I looked at my current time budget. How am I spending my time? What am I doing with my time? And to go deeper, why am I spending my time this way? And does it align with my core values? Does it reflect what's really important to me? And then I got to work. So a part of my story, the three secrets are embedded in this story. At that moment, I made a decision. I created more of what I wanted in my life. I got prepared. I pulled out my calendar for the year. I added my grandkids to one weekend out of the month. So I pulled out the calendar, and every month from January to December in 2022, I put my grandchildren on the calendar. So that weekend, nothing else was happening but the grandkids, right? I began searching for speakers. So I came across Lisa Nichols. I studied everything she taught about speaking. I wrote my own speeches. I recorded myself in the house. So I got into the work of learning how to be a better speaker by speaking. I got hired to speak, and I just started attracting speaking engagement. And again, I attracted women. I attracted the Wake Up community. I reconnected with Stacy and some childhood friends. And I'm walking you through this story to let you know that once I made that decision, everything started opening up for me, right? I attracted some new clients. I not only increased my price point, but I also I tripled my business income because, again, I wanted to double my business income. And then lastly, I spent June to August resting, literally. I didn't do much. I didn't go many places. I got a lot of rest. I did a material purge. And I also engaged in an emotional purge. I didn't know it would be that emotional, but it was, right? So what I just shared with you is what I activated. So I began reading about rest, listening to meditations about rest, and activating. I started writing a program. I wrote this program and I wrote an academic writing program. So what I would like to share with you today is the three secrets to create more of what you want in your life. And I would like to know just what people are thinking about the story that I shared before we move forward. Anything in the chat, anything on Facebook? Lori, thank you for that. Yes to more breath and space to accomplish bigger things. Thank you. So I'm gonna ask Chantel, can you drop the poll in the chat?
Sure. So you want me to launch the whole poll?
Yeah.
everyone? Okay,
Yeah.
gotcha.
Let's see who we have in the room.
All right.
Yeah. Thank you, my dear.
You're welcome. While everyone is answering the poll, it reminds me of the saying, if God were to bless you with everything that you've been praying for, do you have room for it? Do you have time for it? And
Mm.
that's something that I've experienced, like the blessings are pouring in and I'm trying to catch up. I'm trying to keep up with the blessings and rearrange and restructure my life around receiving them.
Thank you so much for sharing that, Chantel, because one of the things that happens when you create space for something new is everything falls apart sometimes.
Mhm.
That has been my personal experience, because what you once knew and what you once needed has to be dismantled and disrupted. And anything that's disrupted, it really just shakes things up because we're breaking out of it. I'm thinking about like new wineskins, like they burst when there's too much to hold. And now you
Mhm.
have to create something new. So thank you for sharing that because that is the process. It's like what worked on this level no longer works on the next level. And what I knew is no longer, it's going to be dismantled and disrupted. And it can cause like a lot of emotional upset, I would say, you
Mm,
know,
I
to
agree.
get to the other side. So thank you for that.
You're welcome.
Looking at,
And we have one person who responded to the poll. So hopefully everyone can, there we go. Let's see, some more folks are answering. So if you didn't see, the poll is up. You should have it on your screen.
yeah,
Awesome. Okay, now I see three. Okay, here we go.
perfect. And I'm going to continue as the poll goes
Awesome.
in.
Go ahead.
Okay. So what I just shared with you is my experience um, creating space for what I wanted. And you can do this at any time. You're going to receive a time budget tool and a few other materials. So let's get into the secret, right? How to create space. So the secrets are simple, right? But it's the process embedded in the secrets that really makes it a secret. And our aim for today is to really bring visibility to those things in our lives that are unseen. We want to bring it to the light. We want to have it visible. We want to know our relationship with time. So, number one, the first secret is to decide. Simple, right? Make a decision. No, decisions are not simple, right? It's a word, but there's a commitment that goes behind our decision. Make a definitive decision. The moment that we make decisions, God, the universe, people, and adversity will start to line up and take notice immediately. They will take notice and say yes to what we say yes to. And again, I said adversity because that's coming as well to sharpen us. Make a commitment. And a committed person is like, you know what? Even if everything falls apart, piece by piece, brick by brick, I will build it up again as I continue to move forward with what I want because I made a decision. Next, start thinking about how to create space for this new decision. That's what we're talking about. We all have full lives, we're adults, we have more than enough on our plate, but you're being strategic in creating the space for what you want. And that's what the Pay Yourself First tool is all about. You're saying, you know what, let me see how I'm spending my time. Let me see what I can move around, adjust, delete, ditch, get rid of, and how I can put this thing that is important to me, whether it's in my relationships, my health, my wealth, my business, and really make a conscious effort to put myself on my calendar. All of those things matter, right? So, secret number one, make a decision, commit to that decision, budget your time to plan out your time. Today, I'm going to ask you to pull out your calendar and look at it. And there's 4 days left in this year. Add yourself to your calendar, right? A 2 hour block to really just look at how you're spending your time and merge your calendar, right? Because this is the beginning of adding yourself to your calendar, spending time looking at your time, and then be specific. When you're specific, you unleash the power of cooperation. Yeah. Secret number two, prepare. So this is where it could get messy, right? Um, when you're preparing, you have to dismantle and disrupt, as Chantel and I just spoke about. During this preparation, you're going to sort through and go through your story about time. I'll share my story about time quickly. You're going to create a budget for what you want. You're going to study, you're going to prepare, you're going to reflect. You're going to do a lot of analyzing about how you're spending your time. You'll also need an accountability partner. Tell your family, tell your friends what you're up to, get their support, or just let them know, because you're going to have new boundaries that you put in place, right? And during this process, you're going to balance out what I call the 3 slices of pizza, right? So there's 3 slices of pizza. One includes rest. So you must rest so you can get things done, right? Work is the second slice, and play is the third slice. So play was one of the slices that I was deficient in. I don't play enough. So that's something I'm working on into 2023. And then the third secret is to activate, right? When you activate, it's from everything that you prepared. Now you've created space for what you want. Now you're going forward with that thing you want. If it is to spend time with your grandkids, or to do something in business, or to write that book, or to become a full-time entrepreneur, whatever those things are that are important to you, now you're activating. And let me tell you about activating. It can get really, really scary. Activating can be scary because it's new. This is an activation, right? It's new. You don't know how it's going to turn out, but you're going to put your best foot forward, and you're going to get better and sharper each time, right? But you got to step out there and do it. You got to go scared if necessary. Any questions, maybe from one person before I move forward? Any thoughts?
Anything in Facebook, Tiff?
No, Facebook is quiet. I'm dropping all of the secrets and the questions, but I did share that tomorrow evening I have a trial Pilates class, and I have rescheduled this class like 2 times already, and I was about to reschedule it again. But that's going to be my 2 hours for myself. My Pilates class is something I've been wanting to try, and I'm gonna just go for it. And I told my daughter about it, so I'm gonna make sure she don't let me sneak home after work.
Oh, love it. Thank you so much for sharing that. And think about how you feel after that. You'll begin to do that more often. What's important to you is very important. Thank you for sharing that, Tiffany. So we are close to our time. What I would like to see happen is maybe let's share the time budget tool. I'm going to share my personal time tool where you can see what my life really looks like now. And this is a dynamic tool. We're going to drop a link in the chat. You will have your own tool. It's a blank one. You can print it out. I made it a Word document where you can just fill it in on your computer and have it digital. But you're going to take a look at your life as it stands now. And when you're able to see what your life looks like now, you'll be able to see what you can move around, delete, lessen or increase, but make sure you can add yourself to your calendar. Yeah, there's the document. Perfect. And as Chantel puts up the slide, I'm going to read really quickly my time story so you'll know what a time story is, right? You'll know your relationship with time. So, really quickly. So there was a time, this is my historical time story. This is a process that you can do on your own. Write out your story, right? There was a time that I lived in a mess. Although my brother and I had everything we needed, my home environment was disorderly. There was no structure, there was no discipline about how to take care of things or how to put things in its place, right? The disorder created an insidious energy around chaos, which impacted my self-worth. I lived in managed chaos. The story I told myself was that I was messy. So as a little girl, I took that story and made an emotional agreement with myself that I had a defect, and in turn, something was wrong with me. My story led me into a lifestyle of shame in this area. On a subconscious level, I experienced the pain of low self-esteem and private humiliation and distress. I was ashamed to let people into my space, which was my home. The shame led to hiding. The hiding led to inauthentic, half-hearted relationships, especially the relationship that I had with myself. So my relationship with time was antagonistic. Time was not my friend. I began a cycle of make believe. I created a public persona as a coping mechanism. And I did not give the best of me because I thought something was wrong with me. Today, I have the right perspective. So, my current time story is over the years, I've learned that I'm not a mess. I lived in a messy environment. Who I am and the disorder I grew up in are not one and the same. And what I know for sure is that I'm fearfully and wonderfully made. I'm going to stop there because I just wanted to demonstrate to you how to really write out your time story and be just honest on the page, right? And what you see here is the time budget tool. So this I changed. There's no real time limit. It's when it changes, I'll update things. So you have your 7 days a week, you have the time of day, and you have what you're really doing. So this is an honest document, right? It keeps us on. I love this document because it's a one pager, and we have sleep, we have travel. These are important things to know that when you're traveling, you're spending time. And think of things, I want you to think of when you're creating space for what you really want, when can you do something else? So I'm not a big believer in multitasking. That is not something I practice. I believe that we should give our underdivided attention and our focused time to everything that we're doing. I know, but that's what I believe and it works for me. I'm fully present because that's the time that I allotted for that period. And I get more done in less time. So during my travel time, right? I'm traveling, I get a chance to read or study. I can follow up on things. So I want you to think about the time that you really have, right? Because we all have the same amount of time. And think about the things that you can do with the time. But first, write out how you're spending your time now. Grab that link in the chat and start to write that out. And then you can, at another time, create a new document and input what you want to see in your life. So I wanted just to share something that's really happening in my life. We have rest on there, we have play, and we also have work. Yes, Stacy, good morning. Tiffany will drop the link again for the time budget tool. Perfect. We are at 7:28 right now.
Watching the time.
Yes, watching the time.
Do you want this to remain up?
We can take this down so I can see some faces. Thank you so
Mm.
much for that. Let's see.
Okay.
Change reality view.
All right. So any shares, any reflections from the group? I know I do something similar to this with my Apple calendar with the boxes and make sure like all of the times are filled in on my Apple calendar. But where I am getting a little tripped up is like the hours of sleep. Although I want to wake up at 6 in the morning, get my morning ritual, ground myself, and I work from home. There's still that disconnect between like getting out of bed, starting the day, going into the office and like separating the two. And then I work for hours straight through into the night. And so building in that time is where I want to do it in the morning, but I'm like, I might be taken away from hours of sleep.
Mm.
How do you find the balance between like the sleeping and the self-care, but also family and work? And I want to go out after work. I work from like 7 to 10 and then go back to sleep and do it all over again. Like I want to get away from the computer, go out a little bit after work and come back home. And so what are your suggestions around
So
that?
that's perfect question. So when you have budgeted your time, you actually factored in when you need time for yourself. So on your calendar, you can have self-care once a month, 1 day a week, twice a week, but it's in that time. And there may be times where you need self-care that's outside of that budgeted time. Take it,
Mhm.
but then do something else with the other time. There's times that you can really just incorporate everything that you want. So the pay yourself first tool, right? Really
Mhm.
quickly. Everything that you have going on in your life every year, birthdays, holidays, anniversaries, your regular schedule, that's automated. So you have whatever you have left, right? But now you're moving into the mindset where you're putting yourself on your calendar. So we do need self care. We do need those moments where there are no demands. You're on the calendar, like my name is on my calendar. What you just saw on my budget tool was leisure. So leisure is like my self-care. It's where I have no schedule, no demands. I'm not doing anything for anyone. I'm just breathing, that's my schedule. And it's really a practice and a discipline where the phone rings, you don't answer it. The kids need something, you're just like, not right now. But this is why it's important to let the people in your life know what you're doing, what you're up to, what you need. Because when they do come, because they come, you're able to say, this is my time right now. I just need an hour and I'll help you after, So it's going to take creating some boundaries, some structure, some discipline, because you're saying yes to you now, right? Now
Yeah.
you're like, this is what I need. I hope I answered your question. I'm not sure.
Yes. So what came out of that for me was the boundaries. And it sounds like that's something, boundaries with myself and saying no to things that are getting in the way of that self-care. My self-care is the color purple on my calendar, and I like to see more purple slots on my calendar. And I've noticed that when I out like with you and your grandkids, I put grandma on my calendar. Like, this is the weekend I'm going to stay in Queens with grandma. And then she's like, oh, wait, you're going home? And it's like, yeah, I need to go home.
I know.
Or I tell people like, hey, like yesterday I went to the movies and got a massage and people blowing my phone. I just felt like maybe if I communicate like this is my time, or do I even need to do that? But it's clear now, like telling people, grandma, I gotta go home this week, for me, or
Yeah.
whatever the case is, or not answering a phone call. So letting people know and bringing them, enrolling them into this new structure of my life so that we're all on the same page.
Yes. And the
Thank you.
support is there.
So that part.
It's not
Yes.
there automatically sometimes, but
Hmm.
you'll gain the support. And then you're teaching your grandbabies that this is grandma's time. This
Oh,
is your,
not mine. I'm the grandbaby. I'm telling grandma, like,
oh,
grandma,
you're the grandbaby.
yes. I put her on my calendar.
Oh, I love that. Yeah.
Yes.
So that is a great example of paying yourself first, creating space for what you want in your life, putting your grandmother on your calendar. That's an amazing example,
Mhm.
because how often do we think about putting um, family on our calendar?
Yes.
Family is there.
Yes.
We there to enjoy them. Sometimes we live with family. There's different scenarios, but
Hmm.
putting on your calendar what's important to you, especially creative pursuits, that would be something that I would leave with you. Anything that you want to do that's creative, that's connected to your heart, do that thing. Like my business, I love my business. I would say my business and my kids are neck and neck because I love what I do, right?
Hmm.
I have to do it or I will be depressed. I will not be myself because it's a part of who I am. Think about those things because it's so important to really give yourself that. And there's so much more to share, but I hope you got the gist of how to create space for what you want. The 3 secrets to create that space, which is to make a decision, to get prepared, and to activate and get you an accountability partner. And also bring your family and friends into the space of this newness because it's a shift in mindset. This is not, you're just managing your time. This is not like a time management tool. It's more like you're allocating time to create space for what you really want. And you're important enough to do that. That's it. Yeah.
Couldn't agree more. I like to add to that. A friend of mine, we kept talking, my accountability partner in the Be the Tree program, we kept saying we're producing so many things for other people and we don't have time for our own creations and our own dreams. So we started a mastermind group, and it's like 5 of us that get together bi-weekly on Sundays for 2 hours. And we sit there and we play music, and each of us go into our zones and we produce and we check in 45 minutes after. What did you work on? And then we jump back in, play some more music, and then we give each other feedback. But that time is on all of our calendars bi-weekly to focus for 2 hours on things that we want to work on. But we had to be intentional about putting that on our calendar. So I just want to offer that to the community. Like you said, Tanine, bring people in to support you, put the time on your calendar and make it a priority. So thank you so much for this.
Thank you. Thank you for your share. I'm loving the mastermind group because that's important. You're setting yourself time. You created space for that, right?
Exactly. Yes.
And yourself first, and you have your community with you as accountability, and you're creating. Love it, love it, love it. So important. And I would like an opportunity to share some more, maybe at a later date. Definitely have time to just really explain to you the Budget Your Time intensive that I'm launching. I'm really excited about it. So Chantel, you can let me know when we
Absolutely.
can do that. I'm not sure if someone wants to share from the chat first or.
Yeah, let's hear from Z.
uh,
Z, can you come off or would you like me to read it for you? Okay, I'll read it for you. Z, my challenge is I'm distracted by everything. So actually doing things at the times on the calendar. So actually doing things at the times on the calendar are much easier said than done.
mm. Thank you for that.
Mhm.
I wanted to bring everyone into the space, and what you shared is bringing another element into the space. So everyone doesn't have the same structure and same energy, right? But this still can be done, right? I have a girlfriend. She's just like, T, I cannot do the whole calendar schedule thing. And I understand. I embrace however people feel about whatever, right? And she doesn't do the calendar thing because it goes against her energy. And I believe her do not work against your energy, right? Do not work against how you're wired, because we're all wired a certain way for a specific reason. But go back. This is why writing your story, thinking about the things that you do have in your life, the things that you have incorporated, right, thus far, that you have conquered, the things that you're an expert on. You had to do something to get there. So always go back and remember, what did you do to get to where you are in those things that you're proud of? It may not be on a schedule. You may not be like the time budget tool person or the person that write things down, but there's something that you do now, right? That is working for you. And then figure out why. So that goes into your relationship with time. There's an emotion attached to everything that we do. Why are you not focused, right? Why is everything scattered? There's a deeper reason. So take a deep dive, and this is why putting yourself on your calendar before the end of the year is important to really just sit with yourself, reflect on, why am I not focused? Why am I not focused on the things that are important to me? And where is my focus? Is it on other people, other things? Is it my environment? I have a chart with like 7 different variables that we need to be mindful of that can stand in our way. And one of those things are common distractions, environment, right? Um, People, the ebb and flow of life. Sometimes we get stuck in certain places because life is ebbing, right? And it's stopping the flow. There's death, there's life, there's marriage, there's moving, there's loss. There's so many things that happen in life that are going to happen. But just really figuring out, why is your energy scattered? And your answers are there. Every answer you'll ever need is already inside of you. So just sitting with yourself, like making a commitment to sit. And even in your sitting, there may not be focused time, but just breathing through until you get to your answers. And then this is where accountability comes in at picking one thing that you want to accomplish for you and getting accountability for it. You may not write a schedule for it, but you are committing to spending time, maybe once a week, right? It's a discipline. So it's something new that you would have to really try on. It's a practice. It's like riding a bike until you get better at it. If you never look at a calendar, right? Because everybody's not calendar people. I would say have a calendar, but make a commitment. It goes back to number one, you know? It goes back to the secret of number one, making that commitment and getting support from people. And when it gets hard, keep going, keep going, keep going, because it will get hard.
Great, awesome advice. Thank you so much, Janine. Find what works for you. Everybody doesn't do the calendar. Maybe you got to write it on a notepad or something, however that works. Yeah. So, Z, Stacy put some stuff in the chat for you as well, maybe some vitamins to support you in your focusing. So take a look at that. And then Teresa has her hand raised. Can you come off mute? Oops,
Some blessings. So glad to see you, my sister. Thank you for this. I woke up late, but I got just what I needed. One of the things that I did yesterday, I was in a class talking about doing an ebook, and I started right then and there, and I created an ebook, and it was really challenging because my mind was like, "Oh, it's too much," and I was like, "No, it's not. You're gonna do it," and I was able to do it. So, I like this chart that you said. I'm definitely gonna use it, and I do feel like time goes by. But I just feel like I'm like in a place where like I'm just like I don't know. I feel like I'm just not doing things that I need to do. I don't know if it's because mentally just dealing with so much stuff. But that's the thing is like how do you just push when you overwhelm? Because I feel kind of overwhelmed. Like I have things I can do even with the business, but I'm not doing any of those things, and it's just like I just can't get my mindset to do it. But I did do the ebook, so that was a great accomplishment for me. So I just have to get it edited. And so, that was one good, that was something that was really, really good. I did a few other things, but I did, complete the ebook, for the right now.
So this is where, thank you so much for being vulnerable. Thank you for your share, Teresa. Good to see you also, beloved. So one of the things you shared, you acknowledged, right? And one of my quotes that I coined is acknowledge, but do not excuse, right? So it's important to acknowledge where we are, but not excuse ourselves or release ourselves from responsibility. So I heard both of those things. You feeling overwhelmed, but you still push through with your ebook. I would say, because you know and you're aware that you're overwhelmed, take that time. It's 4 days left this year. I'm not sure if you are a part of the mastermind group, but take the time, put yourself on your calendar and sit with yourself and figure out what's happening. So I like to say the most important conversation you will ever have, besides your conversation with God, is the conversation that you have in between your two ears. What is your conversation like with yourself? Start there. What are you saying to yourself? What are those things that are non-affirming? What's overwhelming you? Is there something that you can do to ditch it? There was a time, I think about 5, 6 years ago. I don't like to use the word hate, but I'm going to use the word hate on purpose. I'm a word person. I hated where I lived, right? I did not have a great relationship with my son at the time. And I did not get along with my landlord. Those were 3 things that were overwhelming me, right? I was just not happy. I needed a new job. And I had a great job, but I was over it. I needed something new. I needed a new level. And I was miserable. I was depressed. And Harmony Network was not getting any love. And if you heard me earlier, I love my business. So I was depressed because I couldn't really perform in my company the way that I wanted to. And there were people that needed to hear what I had to say. Those were 3 things that I said, I need to change. This is where the activation comes in at, right? I had to get prepared. It's just like, well, where am I going to get money to move? What am I going to do with my son? And how do I get this new job? Well, I found the money to move. I can't remember how I got it, but I got it, right? I was determined to move. I started seeing the place that I wanted to live in, and I started going to look at places, right? And then my son, it was just like, bro, you're 21. You got to go. I love you. I'm going to help set you up. We're going to figure it out. But we cannot coexist together. And we have the best relationship now. And then number three, I had a certification that I forgot about. And what I did was I started sending my resume to my friends and stuff, because that's how you get a job in a DOE. And I got a new job. When I say I felt the relief from that feeling of depression, of not being happy, of being anxious, it's because I got rid of those three things, I tell you. But that is an active move. It's an active move of faith. And faith is an action word. So I offer that to you. Take some time and see what's going on and make some moves, make some big girl moves. It's hard. You're gonna cry. You're gonna go through some changes, but you're worth everything that you need, and your peace is not for sale. Yeah.
You said a lot in that conversation, and it's like that's exactly what I've been dealing with. Is dealing with not being comfortable where I live at, and dealing with different family, different friends and stuff, and just walking away from stuff, and it's been challenging
Yeah.
because I normally just cater to whatever that's going on, but I feel like I'm dishonoring myself by continuing on staying, in some of the relationships that I have. And so what I said to myself, you need to be working on healing you instead of worrying about what somebody else is doing. And so, but yesterday was just, a pivot point where I was able to, like do the ebook. And so now I got to do a cover today, and I'm gonna get it edited and then do a cover for it. But I was able to do it, without it was my mind was just going all over the place. I was like, nope, you're doing this. And so, thank you so much for this word. And I'm so glad that I woke up, in time just to hear it. I was like, I gotta see Tanine. I said that last night. Let's go, yeah. You gotta get up and, in the spirit, like wake up, so thank you for this great inspiration. And how do you join what you said, the mastermind?
Yeah. So what I'm offering today, I was asking you, are you a part of the mastermind with Chantel? They have a mastermind group.
No.
Oh, no, I can give you info, Teresa, later. Yeah.
Okay.
Well, we are at 7:47. Thank you for sharing. I'm so glad you were here. I hope everyone was able to receive something that you needed for yourself on Facebook, on Zoom. We're in this space together, co-creating, and I just appreciate you all for having me. Thank you for the Woo community. Thank you, Chantel and Tiffany. We are going to move forward with my offer. I'm so excited about this. This was a soundbite of what this intensive encompasses. I will take you through the whole process of creating space for what you want, and you will do a deep dive into knowing your relationship with time, right? And again, this is the work, knowing your relationship with time, seeing if it still serves you. The 3 secrets to create space for what you want, more of what in your life. It's an intensive. So what you will get with this offer is the Budget Your Time ebook, the Budget Your Time journal, and a bonus gift for any participant who sign up today. So you have a 24-hour window to sign up at the price point that I offered just for the Woo community. So if you are in the Woo community, this price point is for you. And you will learn about the ecosystem of time. You will discover your relationship with time, and you will receive strategies to create space for what you want. You will receive strategies to automate your time, and then you will get set up for a success toolkit. So everything you need to shift into this mindset will be provided in this intensive. It will begin in January. And here's the pay link below. The Woo, for Woo, it is $99. That is a steal. And if you want to create something different in your life based on the things that you've discovered or heard today, please sign up today. You have 24 hours for this price, because the price will increase after 24 hours. Next. All right, here's my contact information. You can reach me on my email, my website. The link is also posted on my website, my Instagram handle. You see my nose is running.
Tanine, we do have a question.
Sure.
For the intensive, what days do you all meet? What's the schedule?
So this is the launch. So it's either going to be Thursdays and Saturdays. It is for 3 weeks. Should be 2-hour slot, or I'm going to do a weekend intensive. So I'm still working out that part of it.
Okay, so they would just register and then you'll follow up with the schedule.
Yes, definitely.
Okay, awesome.
Thank you, my dear.
Welcome. All right, and it is now time to shower our facilitators always on Wake Up. So we thank you for the time that you have spent here with us, Tanine, and gracing us with your secrets and your enlightenment, your story and your testimony around time and how you've used that to transform your life, to heal and to grow in different areas. So thank you so much for your shares. And we can't wait for you to come back for part 2 to tell us some more of your secrets. And hopefully some of us can join your intensive to get some more of this knowledge. So we always like to remind people to pay it forward with our facilitators who give their time so graciously and prepare with love offerings to say thank you and show gratitude for what has been shared here this morning. Because they do this out of the kindness of their hearts and bring their expertise to us so we can learn and evolve as well. So you can always use the links here to do automated payments where it will come out of your account monthly so that you can continue to contribute to the WOO community. All right, Tanine.
I am excited to announce my girl, Catherine. So join us on Thursday, December 29th for Unpacking Ujamaa Cooperative Economics, facilitated by Catherine Malvi
Mbali.
Green Johnson. Thank you.
Beautiful. You're welcome. All right. Yes. So join us same place, same time tomorrow morning. And welcome to the newbies. We have a lot of new people in the space, and I dropped this in our Spirit of a Woman time ritual group. It's just so timely, and I figured, we could use some more resources of how to use our time wisely. So thank you all so much for joining us here, and we welcome you to continue to join us in these WOO sessions throughout the next year. It will be our 3rd year going into it. So please continue to join us for conversations like this. And you can join us throughout the week. So we're here live on Zoom, Sunday, Tuesdays, and Thursdays from 7 a.m. to 8:30 a.m. Eastern Time. Those are our 90-minute sessions. And then you have the sessions like today, Mondays and Wednesdays, that are about 30, 45 minutes, where you get just a little hint of what was to come. For example, like Tanine is giving us an example of what her intensive will be like. So you can reel you in and get you to come for longer sessions and broaden your ideas of what's going on. And you can always find us on Zoom as well. We live stream there, and you can get our text message reminders by texting WOO Nation to 74121 to get those daily reminders of when we are going to be on. Again, we have our swag, so you can always represent WOO out in these streets. And if people have questions, let them know how to join us in the mornings. Grab your tote bag, your coffee mug, your leggings, candles, all of the things. We got some new inventory in for you to choose from. And of course, thank you for joining us, and please stay in touch. You can register at bit.ly/wakeupmovement. Again, our Facebook pages and Instagram handles are here, as well as YouTube. And if you have any questions, comments, or concerns, you can always email us at info.wakeupseries@gmail.com. For the newbies, yes, this will be rebroadcasted if you are not in the Facebook group. If you are in the time ritual, I will also post it there for you all to watch the replay as well. And now we are going to take down the slide deck, and y'all know what we do. We gotta shower Tanine with some love. So everyone, please come off mute and send your love showers out to Tanine
Thank
for
you,
such an
Queen
amazing
Tanine.
session.
Pretty and
Thank
pink.
you, thank you,
Thank you,
Tanine,
Pink
thank
for
you, Tanine, for this
love.
great presentation
Thank you,
on
Ruth.
yesterday.
Most
I
Have a
just,
great
amazing
I just want to say,
day.
God
let's
I'm
move
bless
forward,
so
everybody,
you.
and
Have
have
a
a
such a
blessed
great
day.
great,
open my
so
mind.
Thank you
beautiful,
for
Lord.
being
beautiful,
a
beautiful,
light.
Thank
beautiful.
you. Definitely
It was an
reminds me
So
amazing
Powerful
amazing.
session.
woman.
Thank
Thank you
you
so
so
Great
much
much.
leader.
for this.
You and
to
your
Continue to
understand that
God
it's
bless
All
you.
you
something
have.
more
it
than
was an
faithfulness.
Continue to
amazing
just
prosper
session.
you. Amen.
Amazing, amazing,
Amen.
amazing.
Let's move
Thank
forward,
you,
Definitely gonna
everybody.
use
family.
these
Thank
two.
you. Thank you, Roof
These
family.
two. Yes, thank you so much.
Thank you, admin team.
Awesome day.
Peace,
Thank
love,
your
and
admin. Y'all did a
namaste.
Ooh,
Thank you.
nation.
wonderful job.
Thank you,
Wonderful job.
Tanine.
Thank you all again so much. I
Yes,
love y'all.
thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you.
Hey, Stacy.